What you're about to see is not real news. It is satire based on real news. The characters you're about to see are not real-life humans. They are frighteningly realistic puppets based on real-life humans. The views expressed in the show are not necessarily those of Starsat, its sponsors, its advertisers, or the nice lady that makes the coffee.
Goddamn that Polokwane. ANC say they don't want me. Said I didn't have a sense of humor. Said they prefer Jacob Zuma. I had the blues. Oh yeah, I had the blues. But now times are changing. The ANC is rearranging. People starting to complain. Their party going down the drain. They got the blues, oh yeah, they got the blues. So I'm going to make a comeback. Now the leadership is so slack. Stranger things have happened, you know, Jack? And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a double, please, bartender.
Greetings, comrades, commissars, commanders-in-chief, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Puppet Nation.
Yeah, welcome.
Deborah, what's up?
In case you haven't noticed, there's an Ebola virus outbreak.
Oh, come, Deborah, that's way up north.
Honestly, do you not watch any movies? That is how these things start, up north. And before you know it, your dying words are, but it was up north.
Don't you think you're being a little dramatic?
No, I think you're being a little cavalier. All it takes is one guy who gave his buddy a high five at the airport as he was leaving for his wonderful new life in South Africa, and bam, Ebola hits SA.
Deborah, that's a really unlikely scenario.
I don't know, Justice. Is it really? Is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, whatever. I won't be visiting you in quarantine.
Well, you can't visit me if I'm in quarantine.
Well, I won't.
So don't. But please, will you take that thing off? We have to do the news.
When was the last time you went up north?
Never, okay? Never. I'm a people of the South.
Okay, but don't high-five me.
I won't.
Or touch me.
I won't touch you ever, okay? The news thing, please. The ANC is working flat out to minimize the damage caused by the Nkandla scandal.
However, there are those who insist that the party hasn't been damaged at all.
It's true, Deborah. I'm a senior member of the party. Do I look damaged?
Maybe not on the outside.
Look, let me be honest with you.
That'll be a first.
Nkandla is not really the president's home at all. It is a secret American military base. The cows are CIA agents dressed in cow suits, and the chickens work for the FBI. They are trained in espionage. Would you suspect a chicken of being a spy? Of course not.
So, that's not the president's home at all?
No, that is his home. It is part of the cover. You people in the media are too stupid. Do you really believe that our government would spend over 200 million rand on security for one man?
I was surprised to find out that the government still had 200 million rand that hadn't been stolen.
That is why we had to move fast. Anyway, most of the money came from Washington. We hardly spent a cent.
And President Zuma, is he really who he says he is?
You are a smart boy, Justice. You should come and work for us. No, Jacob Zuma is not even human. Here is the final product of 20 years of research by the Boffins at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
Our president is a robot?
Well, the Americans call him a virtual artificial android. Sometimes we call him the paranoid android. It doesn't matter what you ask him. He is programmed to deny everything.
What the hell is he made of?
Why do you think nothing sticks to him? He is made of Teflon.
Huh.
Honeymoon murder suspect Gendivani's living standards will take a knock if he arrives in South Africa next week. Breakfast will in future be a bowl of oats, 2 slices of buttered bread, and a cup of coffee.
What's wrong with that? My Mavis has that when she comes every Thursday.
So, you give your domestic worker the same meal given to the inmates at the Falkenberg Mental Hospital?
Look, when I hire someone to work for me,
It's the same as working in a lunatic asylum.
no justice. Well, some days, yes. But half this country survives on mealie meal, bread, and coffee. And do you hear them complaining?
They never stop complaining.
That's what happens when you have a government that fosters a culture of entitlement. I'm just saying that Dewani shouldn't be given food.
No food at all?
Maybe just enough to keep him alive until the execution.
We don't have the death penalty anymore, remember?
Oh, that's right. The government is only allowed to murder our hopes and kill our dreams.
That time of the month?
Payday? Yep. I always get a bit overexcited.
We interrupt this bulletin for a special announcement.
My fellow countrymen and women, as you all surely know by now, I'm no longer with 5FM. On the 31st of March 2014, I recorded my final show after 10 years at the SABC. I am as upset as you are, but I urge all of you to exercise calm and restraint. Do not go into the streets. Do not march on my behalf. If you must grieve, remain indoors and do your weeping there. I understand that it may feel as if your world has come to an end, but I beg you not to give up hope. Life must go on. I love you. This is not so much goodbye as it is au revoir, arrivederci, auf Wiedersehen, sayonara, shalom, salam alaikum, aloha, ciao, adios, hasta la vista, baby.
Who the hell was that?
I have no idea.
Did he say he spent 10 years at the SABC?
Poor bastard. He's probably off to Falkenberg.
The time for justice has come, commissars.
Justice! Is he also going to be a commissar? Because it's already quite crowded in the car when we go to the rallies.
Not justice the man, justice the principle. It is time for Zuma to pay.
What is he going to pay for?
A new Mercedes.
Or a new Breitling?
And if you get a new Breitling, can I get the old one?
What? No, that's not fair. You promised that I would get the old Breitling. How come?
That's
now-
enough. Zuma must pay for Nkandla. He has taken money from the poor and used it to build a private zoo and a foofy slide. We will occupy the union buildings until he pays by stamping down.
Oh, so he's not going to give us any money?
No.
You say.
No, you say.
No, you. What?
Chief, quick question. If he's not going to give us the money, what is the point?
Yeah. What is the point?
Yeah.
The point is, you can't be a leader and do whatever you want to do with government money.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
You say.
No, you.
But Chief,
What?
so then, like, what is the point of being the leader?
Yeah, what is the point?
The point of being the leader is power. The power to have the whole country ready to do as you say. To lead the poor out of poverty and to rid our society of the white tendency.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So, Chief, when that happens and you have the power and all the poor are not poor anymore and there is no more white tendency, is that when I'm going to get the Breitling?
Hey, you can't have the Breitling.
No, but you said I was going to have
No,
the...
you said I can have the Breitling.
Shut up!
Video diary day 32. I'm still in North Korea. I can't believe I came here, man. I thought I could make a bit of money coaching them rugby, but now they won't let me go home. It's a bloody debacle. Sorry, man, I thought I heard him. Yeah, so now Kim says I am his court jester. I told him, no, man, Chester Williams is retired. You haven't caught Chester. You've caught Peter. But he just laughs. Like last night when I asked him for another blanket because it's bloody cold on the floor next to his bed, he just laughed at me. But it gets worse. Yesterday, he made me his official wiper of the revolutionary bottom. The things I've seen, terrible things, burned into my eyes like poo lasers. Peter, I'm finished. I don't know how this guy Dennis Rodman managed. No wonder he's into rehab now. Please, guys, pray for me, man.
I don't understand why our president can't just be happy with what he's got. Or just be a normal person and wait until he's out of the highest office in the land to loot the country.
That would be the respectable thing to do, but then our president is no ordinary guy, Deborah.
You're telling me? I mean, who gets a chicken run in their house?
I don't know. I wouldn't mind retiring and having a nice piece of land with some chickens and cows.
So what's stopping you, Farmer Joe?
My contract?
Ah.
What would you do if you retired tomorrow, Deborah?
You mean if I stopped cucking on people for a living?
Yep.
I guess I'd just cuck on my family until the end of time.
Shoo! That's rough. Lucky for them, it's not happening anytime soon. At least not before this next commercial break.
Sick of a boring and predictable order pizza? Then try the new ultimate pizza from Romaner's. The extra crusty, deep crust, stuffed crust, double, triple pizza puker. 10 pizzas stacked on top of each other, rolled into a tube, deep fried, pureed in a blender, poured over 10 other pizzas, baked into a blancmange, stuffed into a pie, stuffed back into another pizza crust, injected with 3 liters of cheese and oil, covered in custard and delivered hot and dripping to your doorstep in 20 minutes or your money back. If it was any greasier, it would be Silvio Berlusconi. And as a special introductory offer, if you survive the heart attack after eating this, you'll get a second pizza and a second heart attack absolutely free.
Motorists paying admission of guilt fines will soon be stuck with criminal records, as a provision in a 37-year-old apartheid-era law is quietly enforced.
Many of you might already have criminal records because a clause in the Criminal Procedure Act of 1977 says paying a fine is the same as being convicted in court.
Please tell us this is a belated April Fool's joke.
Oh, no. This is true. If you commit a traffic offense and then pay a fine, you get a criminal record.
That's ridiculous. So the answer is not pay your fines.
Watch it, lady. We also have laws against that kind of talk. The answer is to not violate traffic regulations in the first place.
Do you know how many people commit traffic offenses every day in this country?
4, 7, 8, 10.
A survey by the Automobile Association found that 76% of drivers break one or other traffic law daily. 76%. Do you know how many motorists that is?
I'm gonna need a calculator.
Hundreds of thousands, officer, and you're telling us that they will all eventually end up with criminal records because of a clause in a law passed in 1977.
I don't like your attitude, lady. Some good laws were passed in 1977. Very good laws.
Yeah, right, like the Prohibition of the Exhibition of Films on Sundays and Public Holidays Act.
Really? Movies were banned on Sundays?
Well, those were the days, my friend. I mean, I thought they'd never end.
You're not going to start singing, are you?
Members of Parliament who fail to make it back to the legislature after the elections will benefit from up to 24 free flights a year for 10 years. This is the latest perk that MPs have given themselves.
Free flights at taxpayers' expense? Really, they do this now, right after Nkandla.
Well, look at it this way. They didn't ask to become MPs, so they deserve to get free stuff.
Oh, I see. You're using Zuma logic. In that case, I didn't ask to be born, so I'm not paying taxes.
I didn't ask to be a puppet, so I'm... Okay, I've got nothing. Did you know that apart from this new retirement benefit, MPs are already entitled to 86 free return domestic flights a year?
Good God. That's... That works out at almost 2 flights a week. Some of these people must be spending more time in the air than they actually do with their families.
Oh no, the families get to fly for free as well.
Where do you think they're all going?
To hell, I imagine. The DA's candidate for Gauteng Premier, Musi Maimane, recently launched his party's manifesto at a rally in Johannesburg.
It's getting crazy. If more than 5 people get together in one place, you can be sure of finding a DA member pushing their manifesto. They're worse than Jehovah's Witnesses.
I don't know about worse, but their promises are about as unrealistic as each other's.
There's no such word in the DA's vocabulary as unrealistic.
Really? Okay then. The DA has promised that small businesses would be able to rent offices from a DA government from R1 a year. Really?
Yes, it's true. But we said nothing about their size or location.
So a Wendy house in the Karoo could be one of these offices.
Come on, what the hell do you expect for R1? Office space in Sandton?
You say unemployed people would be able to use trains and buses for free. What's to stop every commuter from simply saying they're unemployed?
Good point. The jobless will have to have some kind of special identification, like a document or a badge, or maybe a barcode tattooed on their arms. They could be scanned by the conductors. A silicone chip embedded in their heads would also work. The possibilities are endless.
You also promised that teachers and principals will have to write tests to prove their competence. Do you really think the unions will allow that?
The unions? Please, I have 2 words for you. Margaret Thatcher.
You'll crush the unions?
With my bare hands, this will be a union-free democracy. Workers, black and white, will have the opportunity to be exploited equally. Membership of anything other than the DA will be banned.
Remind me to renew my passport. Welcome to another edition of Hardshot, where I get to ask the questions and come up with the answers. Sometimes I don't even know why I bother having a guest. Anyway, in the hot seat tonight is number 1 himself, numero uno.
Hello, Deborah. I hope you didn't invite me here to talk about Nkandla.
No, of course not. Let me start by asking about Nkandla.
But you just said you are not going to...
I lied. You're familiar with the concept, I believe.
What do you want to know?
You were speaking in Cape Town a few days ago. Let me quote you. They did this without telling me. Why should I pay for something I didn't ask for? Do you seriously expect us to believe that you had absolutely no input in the building of your 246 million rand home?
Deborah, are you familiar with the television program called Extreme Makeover?
Of course. Let me guess. The Homestead Edition. You rocked up at Nkandla one day and a bunch of men in colour-coded overalls jumped out of the bushes and shouted, "Surprise, we've renovated your pad."
That's exactly how it happened.
So because you didn't ask for the upgrades, you don't see why you should have to pay anything.
Now you are getting it.
Okay then. 2 can play at that game. I didn't ask for e-tolls, so I don't see why I should pay. I didn't ask to be born, so I don't see why I should pay taxes. Do you see where I'm going with this?
To hell, Deborah. You are going to hell. I'm a priest, you know.
Oh, please, you're no more a priest than I'm a virgin. Do the right thing, Mr. President. Repay the money that was spent on your swimming pool, amphitheatre, visitors centre, cuddle crawl, chicken run, squash
Are you doing this because I'm black?
The race card? Really?
Sorry. Wrong card. Let's see. Here we go. Are you doing this because I'm an uneducated peasant who comes from a poor family and never got any love as a child?
The victim card? I should have known. You can't use your background as an excuse to overcome.
Did I tell you about the 10 years I spent on Robben Island?
Yes, we all know about.
Did you know that I didn't get a single visitor in all those years? I was very lonely, Deborah.
This is me playing the world's smallest violin. You're breaking my heart, Mr. President. Do you even know what it takes to be a great leader?
The ability to stay out of jail?
Really? What else?
Never accept responsibility for anything. Also, keep your wife satisfied. If you can do these 3 things, you are a good leader.
In that case, Mr. President, you are the best leader Africa has ever produced.
Thank you, Deborah. I am hoping for some sort of award from the African Union.
The public protector said that you violated the executive ethics code. Don't you think that Thuli Madonsela...
Oh, that reminds me. I have a new name for her.
A new name?
Yes. In my office, she's now known as Thula Madonsela. Do you get it? Thula...
For the first time ever, I give up. It's tough being tough.
You don't have to be so tough all the time, Deborah. You know, sometimes you can just let go.
Don't be mad, Justice. What would happen if I did that? Everything would fall apart. That's what would happen.
I just hate to see you so stressed out.
You think this is bad? You should have met me before I started my tri-weekly therapy sessions and yoga every other day.
So this is calm you.
Yeah.
That's scary. I don't really want to have this conversation anymore. Let's go for a break.
All the super duper rugby all the time.
The 2014, 2015, 2016 never-ending rugby season are here.
So many teams we can't even name the names because there are so many of them.
Everybody against everybody, everywhere, all the same time. South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa.
South New Zealand, New Africa, Austro, Zealand. Now who cares? It's rugby, rugby, rugby.
Super 5, Super 13, Super 22, Super 419. It could be anything.
Rugby. More rugby. Super rugby.
Super duper rugby.
Rugby!
Super duper rugby on super duper sport all day, all year, whether you like it or not, and if you don't like it, fuck you!
Well, we have a new Miss South Africa.
Oh yeah, woohoo, how wonderful.
What's wrong, Deborah? Don't you think it's great that another lovely young South African woman is representing our country?
Oh, come on, Justice. Beauty pageants are as outdated as public hangings. They're sexist and only objectify women in a society where one would think we were beyond that already.
I think you would have made a great beauty queen.
Oh, do me a favor, Justice. I mean, I know I'm hot, but I'm really more fucking beautiful on the inside at the end of the day.
Well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
And sometimes so is the news. Let's go to Scott Pelley and see what's up across that big pond.
First to international news. President Obama held a meeting with Pope Francis in which the two agreed on the need for empathy in politics.
So you see, my son, one cannot effectively lead these people unless he understands what it is like to walk in their shoes.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I understand what ordinary Americans feel because the NSA lets me read their emails. Like this guy, Frank Carducci in Akron, Ohio. He's been writing to his secretary because he's worried that his wife will find out that they're having an affair. So I know that he feels guilty and horny.
Barack, You should not read people's private messages.
Look, not all of us have a confession booth we can use to get this stuff. By the way, I've been reading your texts. I don't think you should use the word YOLO so much. It's kind of off-brand.
Meanwhile, back at home, President Obama has come under fire from billionaire proto-human Donald Trump, who joins me now. Scott, I demand you apologize for the characterization of me. All right, I'm sorry that I called you human. Mr. Trump, you took issue with President Obama saying that his primary national security concern is, quote, a nuclear weapon going off in Manhattan. Can you please read the response you tweeted to him? I'd be glad to. By Obama mentioning Manhattan, he single-handedly made it target number one. How totally stupid is that guy? Clearly, you know a thing or two about stupidity. You bet your life I do. Every time we mention a place that exists, a terrorist somewhere adds it to his blow-up list. So, in your opinion, we shouldn't have a public discussion of, say, airport security? Shh! Shush! What are you, crazy? I'm supposed to fly to Vegas tomorrow. Now I'll have to take the train instead. Ah, crap. I shouldn't have said that. Now I'll have to take the bus. Oh, crap, I did it again. Turn off my mic. Turn off my mic. We now turn to New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who's here to discuss a new 900-page report finding that he did not orchestrate a crippling traffic shutdown to take revenge on a political rival. That's right. This report proves that I am not a vindictive thug. In fact, it found that I'm the type of lovable, avuncular guy that you'd have a beer with. Or else. Isn't it a little suspicious that the report exonerating you was written by your own lawyer? Don't worry, I can vouch for him. He's a stand-up guy, 100% honest. I know because we have dinner together every week. I put his kids through college. But wouldn't the report be more trustworthy if you had it prepared by impartial investigators whom you were secretly paying off? Look, Scott, if you'd actually read the report. I did read it. You did? Didn't you? No way. It's 900 pages long. That's like 3 Harry Potters. Actually, it's just 2 pages in text and 898 pages of LOL cats. It's what? I paid him $500,000 to write a real fake report? That shyster ripped me off. I'll make that bastard pay. When I get my hands on that son of a bitch, I'm going to shove his new Camaro up his ass. Governor Christie, do you realize we're on the air? Shut the fuck up, Pelley, unless you want to be next.
I've been thinking about it, and I think you're right about beauty pageants. They are archaic.
Finally. Thank you.
But it's still nice to watch. I remember it used to be so glamorous, though. And it was such a big deal. What happened?
Well, the world woke up to the hollowness of it all, I suppose.
Oh, right. We're so much less hollow now. Now we have deep and meaningful entertainment like the Kardashians and The Biggest Loser.
Reality TV is a bunch of crap that is meant to tap into our most base voyeuristic desires.
So you don't watch it at all?
No.
Not even a little bit?
Okay, so I watch The Bachelor and porn stars, okay? Sue me. And sometimes the one about the hoarders.
Relax, Deborah. I won't judge you. I like to watch some reality TV myself sometimes.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
I like that one with, those housewives.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, I didn't judge you.
Okay. You're right. I'm sorry. No, I am. I'm really sorry.
Okay, I forgive you.
Seriously, though.